Greetings, family. We are part of the African diaspora that has been uprooted and transplanted and has been reborn here within the Caribbean through the recognition of identity connections to Mama Africa. My name is Onkphra Wells. I am a priest within the Spiritual Baptist faith. I am also a cultural ambassador within my music, Onkphra and Lion Family Soul Theirs. We are working in the genre of reggae and soca and gospel. We are working in any genre, but those are the predominant ones that we try to get across our conscious message. We think that the world today needs light. The world today needs some kind of healing. It needs joy. So we want to combine those things to bring about that kind of reflection as we move forward to reclaiming our humanity. So bless up to our brother Obehi for giving us this opportunity to be on this podcast this morning. Family, hello! Greetings.
That's lovely. There is a lot of energy here. This is powerful.
Blessings, my brother. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate it. All right. So here in the diaspora, like you already pointed out, we're very proud of where we are coming from, our roots. Of course, we need to
Yes.
continue to talk about it. We are never going to be tired of that. So for that, I'm going to be intentional and try to ask you where you were born, where you grew up. That is particularly important for us.
I was born from the creation of time and given a human body placed within Trinidad, connected to my African ancestry. Trinidad is in the Caribbean, so we have Trinidad, Guyana, Jamaica, Barbados, St. Vincent, Grenada, those islands within the Caribbean. And here we are working out our salvation according to the historical dictates of our times, because obviously if one function outside of one's historical responsibility, you become irrelevant or you become a impediment towards the people actualizing their full potential and their humanity. So like we say, blessed joy to be able to plant seeds, that those seeds will be respected by those who went before us, those who are within our time, and those who are yet to come to this earth. So again, born in Trinidad, living here now in Barbados, doing my work according to historical realities.
All right. Thank you for that. Can you take us a little back in time when you were still a young boy? That is important also. Help us to understand what you see around you in Trinidad and Tobago.
Well, that is an interesting journey, my brother. Coming all the way from African land, coming to carry us home. Coming all the way from Africa land, coming to carry us home. And I sing that song because as a young man growing up, and the brothers and sisters will bring around the drums and we will start chanting, start reclaiming the identity. From the 1970s, Trinidad had a cultural, social, political revolution, spiritual revolution, where we consciously continued the struggle, but it was more impactful about decolonization. And it was from that time, excuse me, where you had more acceptance of the African um, roots that lived through colonialism and was still present within the society. So by and large, the young people and the general masses started to reclaim that African sense of identity, and culture was always the main vehicle in bringing that information and that transformation to the fore. So I sing that song because that song was one of the cornerstones within our church and also within our social everyday lives. So those are the true, genuine aspects of culture where you can see or acknowledge, yeah, wherever there is oppression, obey, there will be resistance. And resistance will take these forms regardless if it is within the church or in the social movement. So that is the journey of most of our realization and transformation as a people. At some point in time, in every country, regardless if it's within the Caribbean or in Latin America, that is going on now, there must be a realization that we are African people living outside of Africa, but it does not subtract from our identity and our claim towards that root that was there from the foundation of time. So that is part of the journey, and that I say that 1970 revolution in Trinidad has made me who I am today in terms of historical context. Yeah, I would say so.
Thank you for that. It is very important.
Yeah.
So, when you were still growing up now, still in Trinidad and Tobago, when you look around the people, other people like you in the community, what was the thing that actually tied the people together? Okay, that is the revolution now. Okay, in the time of revolution, people, we don't question unity, we don't question identity, because that is why there is a revolution anyway. Because without that, there is no revolution. No? So I want you to tell me the bond that existed really in Trinidad and Tobago and among the African diaspora, if we were to extend it in that sense.
Well, the the 1970 revolution. Um, it was the catalyst for all things being reborn within my time. And I am saying that because not that there were not other soldiers who made contribution from colonialism to independence to setting up political parties. But the 1970 revolution, it cemented the Africanness within as to who we are. Um, it gave it gave a confrontation as to what are the specifics element that was retained from the colonial era that needs to be disbanded. Um, we've seen recently with the Black Lives Matter, with the taking down of statues, etc., etc. The Black Lives Matter movement globally is a continuation of the same African people reclaiming the integrity of our African selves. So it's the same thing that happened in Trinidad in terms of identifying, because you have to remember the country was coming out colonialism. Even we received independence in the 60s, but in the 70s, the dismantling of colonialism was still a very much task at hand. So the banking institutions, the foreign investments, the the churches, in terms of white superiority within the churches, with Jesus, Mary, everybody in the church is white, but the only person you will find in the churches is the devil who was painted black. So it's breaking down that kind of socialization and inferiority complex. All those things came to the fore and identified that these are the things that has to be disbanded. So that was the struggle, and it produced, and it still is producing resistance. I don't know if you know that within Trinidad, they started the global recognition of the 1st of August to be an international holiday, especially within the Caribbean, because the 1st of August was Emancipation Day. And we have to give credit to those visionaries that today, if you do go to Trinidad for Emancipation Day, it is a national celebration. People from the four corners of the country see, literally a sea of beautiful African people dressed in their attire, singing songs and working out the methodologies for their liberation through culture. So I can only advise you, if you cannot go, look on the YouTubes for Emancipation Day in Trinidad and see how that has blossomed. Trinidad, Barbados, Guyana. It has moved out to Trinidad to other countries, and I think it has also affected as far as Africa. Emancipation Day, the 1st of August. So that is one of the tangible contributions in terms of the decolonization and the reclaiming of self.
Of course, later we're going to talk about the relationship between the diaspora and also Africa. But now I am looking at the diaspora community now, and looking in particular case, maybe the Caribbean, looking at a man like Marcus Garvey and how he was able to organize the people, of course, before the 70 now.